How do you fix the south side of Chicago?
Okay, so here's the unpopular view, but it happens to be empirically correct. The first thing you have...
The cops that pushed down that old man in where was it? Buffalo, New York? Is that where it was?
Yeah. Cracked his skull. Yep.
That's fucking crazy. I mean, and that's white on white crime, right? I mean, is a white guy.
You mean President Trump had the worst possible reaction to a thing? To a thing? I can't believe it.
Reaction. Yeah, I mean,
unknown. President Trump having bad reactions to things.
Look, I'm a big supporter of law enforcement. I have a lot of friends that are cops. I know a lot of people from martial arts that are cops from the UFC. I know a lot of cops from jiu-jitsu. I knew a lot of cops growing up from all the different martial arts disciplines that I engaged in. A lot of cops get involved in that. There's a lot of good cops. There's a lot of good people out there, but it is a fucking insane job, and so many of them have PTSD.
For sure. But I will say that one of the great myths is that the big threat to the black community in the United States is law enforcement. It's just nonsense. It's not only nonsense, it's counterproductive nonsense. And you're seeing it.
But it is a threat. It is a threat oftentimes.
It is, on a data level, an extraordinarily small threat. Law enforcement as a threat to black life on a generalized level is extraordinarily small. The Washington Post database last year showed a grand total of 15 black Americans shot unarmed across the United States in a country of 42 million black people.
The problem is, when it happens, it doesn't matter what the statistics are. People see that video, and that video gets shared 200 million times. It looks like there's 200 million white cops killing a black guy.
Well, and this is why I say that the media's treatment of this stuff is just horrific.
It's not just the media. It's social media.
Social media has blown this stuff up, and it's gotten to the point where if you say that's a horrible situation, that's also an anecdotal situation. Here's some data. If you present the data, it's like, well, are you ignoring people's lived experiences? That's racist. How can you present the data? The data doesn't take into account the full story. No idea because you saw a video on YouTube.
Well, I think we both agree that's a terrible idea. But first would mean premeditated.
Right. Third. Well, he was charged with third originally, and then Keith Ellison, the AG, over there.
The actual first video of him talking about him donating $1 million. I think he had guns drawn on him, which is probably what started.
And I've been very blessed to be.
And some bored person in their basement decided to create a petition that got signed by some 2,400 other bored people about why it shouldn't be called Trader Jose's because that's racist. So apparently it's cultural appropriation if you're Trader Joe's and you make a burrito. Yeah. But if you call it Trader Jose's, then that's, I think they called it exoticizing Mexican people. Yeah, it's making them exotic and other. So Trader Joe's pulled it down. Trader Joe's is gonna not use this anymore.
17-year-old called out. 17-year-old called out Trader Joe's. Now the chain is dropping offensive labeling.
Offensive to whom? How many Hispanics were picketing outside Trader Joe's being, now that I saw that Trader Jose beer,